Mystic River, directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Sean Penn, Tim Robbins, Kevin Bacon, and Lawrence Fishburne. It won 2 Oscars, Sean Penn for lead actor and Tim Robbins for supporting. In terms of the story, it's a drama mixed with a crime thriller, not too dissimilar than what Denis Villeneuve did a decade later with Prisoners. Mystic River takes place in Boston and opens with 3 boys playing out on the street. Suddenly, a rough looking man claiming to be a policeman shows up and orders one of the kids to go in the car with him. The boy obliges and gets kidnapped, sexually abused, and finally escapes after a couple of days. In the final shot of that short prologue, we see him in the window of his house, sharing one last look with his 2 friends, 2 other friends outside. And we instinctively know that this is the end of something for them. This is the last time they really were friends. We then skip years later, and immediately an equally dreadful event happens. A 19-year-old girl gets murdered. All 3 of the former childhood friends are somehow connected to the case, though. Sean Penn plays Jimmy, the father of the girl. Kevin Bacon is Sean, the detective working the case, and Tim Robbins plays Dave, the boy kidnapped way back then, who clearly still has emotional trauma and isn't quite right in the head. And crucially, we know right from the start that he was at the bar the night that the girl was last seen alive. He was one of the last people to have actually seen her. And then more and more details begin coming to life, partly through the police investigation, partly through Jimmy's own investigation. And with each passing minute, we learn more dirty secrets and details about, well, apparently everyone involved. So the first thing that I want to say is that Clint Eastwood as a director tends to be pretty hit and miss with his films. It comes down mainly to his style of directing, of shooting. He famously does very few takes and doesn't offer too much direction to his actors. That sometimes backfires when he's working with an inexperienced cast. But this is fortunately not one of those cases. I'm very happy to say that the performances are possibly the strongest part of the film. Especially Sean Penn is simply captivating. He's got a really magnetic presence on screen. He manages to convey his grief and anger at his daughter's death, and manages to do so in such a way that he appears at the same time vulnerable and hurt, but still pretty tough and scary as a man. I think that's not easy to act out, but he does it flawlessly. Tim Robbins is almost as good as Dave, seemingly timid and calm, but with visible darkness underneath. His restrained performance helps keep up the tension that stems from the story playing with us, the audience and the characters, in terms of the main question. Did he do it or not? Why is he lying about that evening? What really happened? How is he involved? Will the other characters find out? And that central question, or a set of questions, are part of the larger theme of the film, which I think is the burdens of the past, and their impact on our lives in the present. How the things that we have done and the ones that were done to us define who we become, but also define how others perceive us, independently of who we actually are. That also goes for the character of. Obviously, that's about Dave, but that also goes for the character of Jimmy. We soon learn that he has a criminal past, and that changes dramatically how we look at him from that point on. The story becomes more complicated and its morals are more muddied. The world of Mystic River is kind of this large moral gray area as a whole. It lacks characters that are free of guilt and free of mistakes. And I think that also makes the film so compelling. Because it is compelling, it never gets boring despite running for almost 2.5 hours. It is very careful with revealing its secrets, and it executes its premise really well. For fans of thrillers, a must watch.